Stephen requested me on Patreon to review 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, the story that began as Twilight fanfiction, which then became a best-selling book, and then this blockbuster film adaptation. I surprisingly had not seen the movie before. Not out of avoidance, I just never got around to it. So, what did I think of the film now that I finally watched it? I was not a fan. So, where did my problems with 50 Shades lie? Well, the main issue I had with the film was the main romance, logically. In any romantic movie, if you don't buy into the lead couple, you're going to have trouble getting invested in their relationship. I just did not sense any chemistry between Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey, and there are several points in the movie where I wondered why these two were together. Why does Anastasia fall in love with Christian? Is it his wealth? Is it his good looks? Certainly not his behavior, which is troublesome through the entire 2-hour runtime. These characters are so flatly written and just don't have much of a personality. Honestly, Christian's actions had such massive red flags, and yet seemed to have little effect on Anastasia. The scene where he showed her his sex room should have been the moment where she noped out of there, and yet the story continues. What about when he angrily reacts to Anastasia revealing she's going to Georgia to visit her mother, and he tells her she belongs entirely to him? She sticks around. How about when he actually flies down to Georgia and forces a meeting between himself, Anastasia, and her mother? A little odd, but not a deal breaker. This should have been a psychological thriller, but I think the intent really is to see this as a genuine erotic romance. My other issue with 50 Shades of Grey is how dull it is. The characters are really boring and the pacing is slow, and I often found myself checking how much time was left. There are multiple scenes centered on reading contracts and negotiating said contracts. Maybe if the dialogue was better and the characters more engaging, this would not be an issue. But I just did not care. The thing is, if you read up on the behind-the-scenes stories, the fault of the film's quality does not lie with the filmmakers. It falls entirely at the feet of E.L. James, the author of the book. The crazy thing is, this is actually not a badly directed movie. You get the sense Sam Taylor Johnson is trying to class the film up as best as she can, given the circumstances. The cinematography is really good, and she gives us an idea of how lavish Grey's lifestyle is, from the way she films his office building and his fancy apartment. I also want to give credit to Dakota Johnson, who actually does the best she can, despite the material she's given. In the few points where we see her emotionally break down from Christian's behavior, Johnson nails those scenes. Taylor Johnson has revealed she had the same concerns I had about the story, and wanted to improve it and really dig deeper into Christian's personality, in addition to making Anastasia a stronger character. What happened was, when E.L. James sold the film rights to Universal, it was under the condition that she retain complete creative control over the adaptation, including casting and script approval. And anything that deviated from her book, she was against, which led to James and Taylor Johnson arguing about every scene and how it should go. Obviously, that's not going to lead to a collaborative work environment, and explains why she did not direct the sequels. The same applies to the credited screenwriter Kelly Marcel, who was forced by James to retain as much of the book's dialogue as possible, and revealed in an interview she has not even seen the finished movie. The sad irony is that Marcel had co-written the screenplay for Saving Mr. Banks, a film about a control-freak author who opposes any changes made to a book when it's turned into a movie. So she went from writing about that sort of situation to dealing with it for real. It's admittedly difficult to watch 50 Shades of Grey and not wonder if Christian represents E.L. James' ideal view of what a man should be. I'm not going to kink-shame the author, but to be honest, I did not find anything charming or endearing or likable about this character. Instead, I just felt bad for Anastasia every step of the way and wondered how she did not see the warning signs. Anyway, what are your thoughts on 50 Shades of Grey? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for the request, Stephen.